Release the pain, yeah, that's the cure. Cause if you think that you can ignore depression, you might find that it won't ever leave until you feel your feelings and don't ignore the pain.
Hello guys, welcome back to my channel where we discuss popular mainstream music, and I'm your host Sam Dolphin, and I'm here to talk about the top 10 male pop artists of the 2010s. I really want to make this discussion because there's been lots of complaints about, oh, there's no male pop stars, we don't have them, we only have a few. And yes, that's kind of true. I personally believe that 2010s was the greatest era for male pop artists. We had so many. And I feel like we underestimate them because we don't look at pop music. We don't appreciate the male perspective of pop music unless it's looking a certain way. We have a certain stereotype of what a male pop artist is, but it's really not. If you understand it, it's just really popular music and people who are really successful at it. And we had a lot of that when you look at it. So I wanted to make this top 10 list to just remind you guys that we had a great male pop era. And it really is not as dead as you guys are thinking and saying that it is. It's really not. And I think we need to respect pop music coming from different energies and perspectives and not just this stereotypical female one. Nothing wrong with it, just thinking it's limiting the way we see things. Okay, so let's get into it. But before we get into that, if you enjoyed the little snippet of music in the beginning of this video, that is my single, guys. Check it out. You can check out my music here on YouTube. All you have to do is type my name, Sam Dolphin, and my music will pop up. You can also stream my music on Spotify and Apple Music. And check out my website where I have everything, my TikTok, my YouTubes, my projects, my videos. Everything is on there that you guys can see all at once. So definitely check it out, guys. And I really appreciate your support for my music because you guys know I'm a music artist as well too. So let's get back into the video. So we're here to talk about the top 10 male pop artists of the 2010s, which we had a lot of, which is why I'm able to even make a top 10 list. Okay, so here are the artists I believe that were the most popular of the 2010s and represent male pop artistry. Now, number 10, we have Jason Derulo. Okay, Jason Derulo for 2010s. Now, he wasn't really my favorite male artist, pop artist, really. But then when I look back into it, he did have a lot of pop hits. He had a lot of major pop hits. And even though he wasn't the most popular amongst all, or even the most loved, he always had like a pretty huge hit banger that was very universal and everyone liked, whether you liked him or not, whether you were a big listener of him or not. So I realized, I was like, yeah, Jason Derulo actually had a lot of decent hits. He had a strong run in the beginning, and then throughout the 2010s he'd always have these like really big pop dance hits. So he was a pretty good example of a male pop star of the 2010s. Okay, this is how frequent they were. But Jason Derulo definitely had his hits, and later on he moved into like TikTok, where he drummed up a couple more hits as well too. But yeah, he was one of the male pop artists. Okay, he maybe wasn't the favorite, definitely wasn't like the favorite, but showed that male pop artistry was such a thing that you didn't even have to be a favorite to have multiple hits. Like he did have bangers and hits. So definitely at number 10 I would put Jason Derulo. He was definitely one of the top 10 male pop artists of the 2010s. Now number 9 I have Shawn Mendes. Shawn Mendes was very huge, like the huge teen pop star. A lot of hits as well too. Major records sold. So again, Shawn Mendes was another example of one of the top 10 male pop stars of the 2010s. And he was more like the guitar singing, songwriting type, okay, with like huge kind of like anthems. Actually, the type of music that people are saying they hate today now, because I remember a couple of TikTok artists were doing like songs with the guitar and like those huge anthem kind of singers. And this kind of was Shawn Mendes' thing, and people loved him for it. So definitely one of the major artists of male pop stars for 2010s, and was very sleek, like very laid back, like no major fashion, colors, or choreography, just a singer, a vocalist, and a guitarist. And that was big. That was big for the 2010s. Okay, so again, you might look at a male pop artist having to do certain things, but you're not understanding they could be chill. They could just be playing the guitar and doing those types of stuff. There's no one way of doing pop music. Okay, pop music doesn't have one way of it being done. As long as it's pop music, that's all it is, and you can't deny Shawn Mendes' popularity. At number 8, we have Harry Styles. Okay, Harry Styles, another very major popular male pop star. And One Direction, that was huge. That was a whole pop band of males. But Harry Styles, definitely major popular one. And then, he went solo for One Direction, was the biggest, most successful act from One Direction. So major success, okay, major hits, major albums. And, they started calling him like the new, you saw that Rolling Stone cover where they tried to compare it to Michael Jackson. I think that was just such an exaggeration. But what Harry Styles was very popular, incredibly popular. And after a while, he started becoming more pop. Like, he started taking over. Like, by the time we hit 2021, 22, like, he became like the lead male act. I think if he was more consistent in music, he'd be in a much even bigger level than what he reached. But definitely one of the most popular male pop acts of the 2010s, 100%. At number 7, we have Sam Smith. Okay, again, pop music doesn't have to be up-tempo and fast. If it's pop songs or pop ballads, that still counts. Okay, interesting how we can look at Adele but can't consider Sam Smith. Sam Smith was another major male pop act. He was the vocalist, he was the singer. Okay, and he was the one who sung really well and put out really strong ballads. But we forget. Sam Smith had so many hits, and yeah, he played the vocalist. He was like the vocal pop artist, the artist that could sing. So again, you cannot let go. It's like when people don't see a certain formula of a pop artist, they automatically count them out. But how could you have counted out Sam Smith? So he was very big, very major. Now he's recently has changed his image a lot, but during the 2010s, he was pretty much running the show. He was kind of like the male Adele, basically. So Sam Smith, definitely one of the major male pop artists of the 2010s. So he definitely gets number 7. At number 6, we have Post Malone. Okay, Post Malone. Now, Post Malone is not your stereotypical type of pop artist. He doesn't do all these interviews. He's not wearing all these colors. He's not traditional in male pop artistry in that sense. He's not even like interested in being groomed and all that type of stuff. But the dude had major hits. Like, he like was running the 2010s. And, just because someone doesn't have the attitude of a pop star doesn't mean they aren't. And he was doing cross genres, and then crossing the genres together, like making it more of a hybrid. And that creates a more medium pop sound, that neutral sound. Pop is popular music, but also music that is safe and neutral, because it kind of blends the genres together, giving a nice even middle sound. Okay, Post Malone did a lot of that. So Post Malone is another good example of one of the male pop stars. Now, at first he was kind of like a rapper. He started in hip hop, then he started moving over more into pop. So he kind of like made that like transition, and then he kind of like intertwined them a bit. and he had sad songs and all that type of stuff. But another great example of one of the major male pop stars of the 2010s. We had a lot. It's crazy that we act like we didn't, but we had a lot. So definitely he gets number 6. Now at number 5, we may not like this person that much. I know, but I have to just go by influence and stats. So I just have to be honest. So, I'm just trigger warning. I know this may trigger some people, but number 5 is Chris Brown. 100% musically. He kind of held it down, especially for song and dance. And R&B pop, like pop R&B, like taking the urban sound and making it pop, like Loyal, like he had like a lot of major like hit songs that remind you of the 2010s. Like a lot of his big records will bring you back into, oh, that's Club 2012, that's Club 2000. Like I know a lot of his songs, it's like, oh, that's Club 2014, Club Music 2014. Like Chris Brown put out a lot, despite his controversies, put out a lot of music, a lot of stuff, and he was really a big hitter for a male pop artist. Had he been a better behaving person, he would have been like one of the number 1 spots. He could have been like one of the number 1 or number 2 spots, had he been in like way better behavior. But despite that, you can if you want to. It's up to you if you want to deny it, whatever. But just to be super fair and honest, yes, definitely number 5, one of the huge male pop stars of 2010s. He really defined it. He really defined the edge, the urban, the more pop R&B sound. And when it came to performances, he's definitely the best performer, like the best performer out of everyone in the whole list. So like I was saying, like had he had better behavior, he would have been higher and would have been more like with like Bruno, like competing with them. But his behaviors and his controversies kind of put shadows into his, career and stuff like that. But even with those struggles and those obstacles, definitely number 5. Like he hit so many huge records, and you just really can't think of 2010s without a lot of his music. It's crazy. At number 4, we have The Weeknd. The Weeknd killed it. He's been killing. He started off a little bit more like trap soul, like pop trap soul. And then he gradually got into pop music, like really converted to pop music, and he like killed pop. His themes, his energies, his sound, like nobody can play and mess with Weeknd's sound. Like his sound was so unique as a male pop artist, and he did so much. And then After Hours was just like absolutely crazy. But he really set the tone when it came to 2010s, especially the later 2010s. He hit it very well, and you just can't deny his success. I mean, he was a major player in the 2010s and for latest male pop stars in general. So The Weeknd really defined that, especially when he entered into that pop sound, and his themes, his image, everything he's done really defined it, so much so again, like, you guys are just forgetting so many great people. This is another example. The Weeknd, definitely number 4. At number 3, I have Ed Sheeran. Ed Sheeran is like definitely number 3. He has so many hits, and if you look statistically, some will say number 1, honestly. But I like to go by stats and influence, because I know a lot of people's legacies can't always be 100% just proven by stats. But yeah, Ed Sheeran was killing the game. And Ed Sheeran is definitely a pop star. Like, he's more folky, guitar-y, songwriting, but it's still pop music. Again, pop music has different faces. So, you can't put it in one box just because it doesn't sound like colorful and dancey. That's dance pop. Pop music comes in very different sounds, and it's the most versatile. But Ed Sheeran was definitely a major pop male star, and the biggest. Like, when you look at his numbers, it's absolutely crazy how many hits he was getting over and over. Like, he dominated. That dude dominated, and he was a pop star that was dressed down. He wasn't trying to be sexy, have an image, dance, and do all these things. He was very, like, stripped down, organic. Pop doesn't have, again, there is no rule of how pop has to look. So again, like I just think and he was such a major like successful act. I don't understand how you guys think we had a drought in male pop stars. We had so many. So Ed Sheeran, 100% definitely, no exception. At number 2 as the runner-up, okay, we have Bruno Mars. Bruno Mars is the definition of male pop star. 2010s, I mean, Bruno Mars killed it. He started off with his little collaborations and then putting in hooks to a lot of songs and then put out his music. And he, to me, is also one of the best performers. Like, he had the best performances of the 2010s. Like, it could, like, I personally think, like, yeah, Chris Brown, in my opinion, might be a better performer. It depends because I don't know who you could say. Like, definitely Chris Brown's a better dancer, obviously, 100%. But a better performer, I think he's kind of neck and neck with Bruno, because Bruno can sing live well, and Bruno's very charismatic. And because Bruno didn't have bad behavior, he had better platforms to present it. You know, I think if Chris Brown had the access and the platforms, he would go neck and neck, or even beat Bruno Mars in the performance. But I don't know. It depends, because Bruno Mars also has really strong vocals. So Bruno Mars to me was one of the best performers. It's like him. It's against him and Chris Brown, but they were like the best male performers. But he defined this era. He had so many hits, so many major single hits, like hits that really defined the 2010s. He had the funnest performances, the most animated. Like, he was the definition of like pop that we're looking for, like the colors, the animation, the dancing, the choreography, the entertainment. Like, he put on the best Super Bowl as a male performer and then performed side by side with B. So to me, yeah, Bruno Mars definitely number 2 runner-up. Like, he defined it. If you guys are looking for this quintessential pop star, there goes Bruno Mars. Like, Bruno Mars killed it. He had the most moments. I think it's undeniable what Bruno Mars did in the 2010s. So definitely major male pop artist. How can you guys forget him? He did everything you guys were asking for and wanted. He gave you guys vocals. He gave you guys choreo. He gave you guys the looks, the visuals. He gave you everything. So he was the party. Bruno Mars brought the party. Undeniable. You can't deny him. Now at number 1, it's gonna have to go to Justin Bieber. Justin Bieber, most popular male artist. Culturally and statistically, like, most popular. Most people were crazy about him. He defined the male pop star for the 2010s. I don't think he's the most talented performer necessarily, or had the best music, but when it came to his popularity, nobody can compete with him when it came to his numbers and statistics. I mean, really there. And then when it came to his impact in pop music, everyone talked about Justin Bieber. He was like the one that they all fell in love with and everyone grabbed. Like, again, I feel like if others had different trajectories in terms of their life, this could be a different conversation. But you just can't deny it. Justin Bieber definitely is number 1. I mean, he is the definition of male pop star when you talk about it in the 2010s and male pop star culture. It's Justin Bieber. I mean, it is Justin Bieber. He really made that moment. They fell in love with him when he was a kid. He had that teen Bieber fever. People were going crazy for him. And people would always look at him as the male pop star and even forget about other people. But, no one forget about Justin Bieber. But, yeah, Justin Bieber is number 1. I mean, he defined it. He put it out there. He had the girls and the pop fans going the most crazy. And he put out a lot of good, catchy singles. I personally don't think he was the best performer or had the best music. I think others had it, but his fan base, his cultural impact could not be competed with. On top of his numbers, it can't be competed with. I mean, he had the best of both worlds and really defined it. So, number 1 has to go to Justin Bieber, okay? So, that's it. So let me know what you guys think about my top 10 list of the top 10 male pop stars of the 2010s. Do you guys agree with my list? What do you not agree with? Let me know. I love doing ratings and I love seeing what you guys think and what you guys actually think, because it's like, it's so interesting. So let me know what you guys think, if you guys agree with it or not. Also, don't forget to check out my new single, okay, my music release, and my website. All of it's there to check out my projects and visuals. I really appreciate the support, guys, because I'm a male music artist too. So definitely support me, and I'll check you guys out on the next video.